What's going on, y'all? Thanks for checking in with Callie. Please like, subscribe if you haven't already. So, of course, everything still is up in the air about the Kawhi Leonard / Clippers saga in regards to the scandal that has been going on. It's been talked about the last several weeks. And it seems like the situation gets weirder and weirder to me, and more information comes out each day that can really put the Clippers in a bad situation or a bad predicament going forward, because, I feel like Pablo Torre, the guy who put it out there, really wanted to, of course, get a story and, better himself and his rankings at his job and who he is in his job, because he wanted to, get some bragging rights, because of course he's known as a reporter and things like that. But reporters always try to go out and find stories and go the extra mile to demean somebody else just to better themselves. That's pretty much what their job is in a position like his, not just always to report good things about teams and the good things they're doing and, how great a team is and how great an organization is. Their job is also to promote the bad things that happens with teams and players and things like that, especially when you're in, the sporting industry. So with all that being said, now you're hearing things come out about the Clippers where what punishments they might have. And Pablo Torre spoke on that as well, where, they might actually get Kawhi Leonard's contract voided. And, of course, the Clippers might lose some future picks. Now, of course, also, it's always going to be a fine thrown in there somewhere, let's say, who knows? Let's say they find the Clippers like $500,000 or something like that, however much it is. Even though some of these things is coming out that can actually happen to the Clippers because of the scandal and everything like that, we have to realize there's other teams who've done the same thing. Now, the Clippers happen to just get caught or, something happened to leak from their camp, which I believe somebody from the inside of Clippers camp leaked a lot of these things, because I don't see a lot of these things coming out like this if everybody in the camp is on the same page and everybody's really trying to, have one common goal, which is to win and not focus on things that happened years ago that they can't fix now. Because obviously, based upon the reports, this happened when Kawhi was coming from or leaving Toronto to come to LA, which was 6-7 years ago and 5-6 seasons ago. And it really has no validity or any weight now, but they're bringing it up to resurface it because I feel like the NBA or a lot of people in the NBA just have a hatred towards the Clippers. And I feel like it's just one of those situations that, will come down on them in a negative way, harsher than it would probably any other team who's less hated, maybe possibly. So it's just coincidentally to me, all this really doesn't even matter. The man took money for what they gave him. They offer him the money, he's going to take it. If somebody offered you $28 million to come up with a company that obviously that they can afford and that has validity at that time, or seem like it has validity to you, you're going to take $28 million too, probably. Maybe you won't, maybe you will, but I think I speak for a lot of people out there. They probably would take that chance because it doesn't seem like it's a illegitimate situation at the time. It seems legit, or at least it probably did to Kawhi. Kawhi just looked at it as, okay, this is an extra perk for me. I can not show it work and still, get paid, because this business that Steve Ballmer and the Clippers, assessed and put together can get me extra cash and can pay me where I can take care of my family even better, knowing that I am an injury prone type superstar and my days are numbered, unlike a lot of other players in the NBA. So he probably did what any other player / superstar, anybody else would have did, take the money and, look at it as a perk and a gesture, a good gesture of something that works towards his favor. You know what I mean? So, and most players probably would have did the same thing. It's just Kawhi is Kawhi, and he's one of those players that goes against the rules, goes against the grain in regards to the load management thing and all that. And he's just one of those players where they feel like the media feels like they have to find a way to demean him even more and deteriorate his character even more, just because he doesn't give them what they want, which is a lot of interviews, a lot of talking, a lot of everything that superstars like LeBron and other superstars do. And Kawhi is the quietest superstar we've ever seen. And he's the most stay to himself, stay out the media and not really, feed into what the media wants him to do type superstar. And I think a lot of the media just doesn't, they just don't. It just doesn't sit well with them. So I feel like every little thing they could find on the Clippers and Kawhi, they're going to try to do it. And this is just one of those situations where you're digging in, trying to find information about something to knock this team down and a player down who's just really trying to go into next season and focus on trying to win. And that's really what all it should be about, not all this scandal things. And now they're saying things about 1.75 million was paid late to Kawhi, and that's how they found out. He had a late payment, through some sources. And, we got to remember last year or the year before last, one of their Clippers former employees were saying something about Kawhi being injected in the knee. One of the sports medicine doctors got fired or something like that from the Clippers. And Kawhi got injected in the knee and they were trying to do everything they can to get him to come back, and they were doing that the wrong way. And then one of the fired employees came out and spoke against the Clippers. And this could be the same exact guy who put this stuff out there and leaked this information to somebody like Pablo Torre, who's taking credit for it. And you just never know. It's just so much that can go into this. I just feel like the NBA should maybe not overlook it, but they really shouldn't put the hammer down on the Clippers, because this is years ago. This is a long time removed from when it happened. And Kawhi is a different player now. The Clippers are a different organization in regards to their roster, of who's on the team now, and all these type things. So, it's so much that's so much different from 5-6 years ago, from Toronto, from him coming from Toronto to LA. You really can't hold this over his head to me. They should just maybe find them, move on with life, and not really worry about it that much, because honestly, this whole scandal thing is just being blown supremely out of proportion. It really is. They just want to find a way to down Kawhi, because he's just one of those guys who don't operate the way they want him to, and he's a superstar. So hopefully this passes. Hopefully they find a way to get past it, as Clippers as an organization, as a team, because they got to find a way to focus on winning a championship. And this is just something that just can put a chink in their armor. But as a fan of basketball, I just want to see basketball players play. I want to see the best players out there when they're available, and that's all I really care about. All these other things, it does make Kawhi Leonard look bad to the media and a lot of people, because he doesn't want to play in some people's eyes, and he's on that load management type stuff, and it makes it seem like, oh, okay, he wants to get paid for not playing and get paid top dollar, and only wants to play when he wants to. And it definitely makes his image look a little bit worse even than what it has did over the years, because of the load management. So that's the reason why I think it's blown out of proportion more so than not. But as I said, most people would take the money if they're offered it, and not a lot of people could tell me anything different. But we'll see how things pan out. As of right now, everything is still kind of up in the air. Fines and stuff like that will probably be the biggest thing that'll happen. Voiding Kawhi's contract, maybe that might happen. I'm not sure. But even if it does, I feel like Kawhi will find a way to bounce back, and like he always does. And the Clippers will find a way to get over this, because Steve Ballmer has so much money. Well, he can probably actually pay Adam Silver to keep his damn mouth shut if he chose to, because he's worth more than what Adam Silver's worth. And Adam Silver's the damn commissioner of the NBA. So, with that being said, money talks, and all the BS goes away at some point. And honestly, if the Clippers find a way to go into this season and win the championship, well, as I always say, winning cures everything. So with that being said, let's just see what happens, and hopefully this will pass, and hopefully the Clippers can find a way to win, and all this will go away, and all will be history.